Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's City Council meeting. I'm going to call tonight's regular City Council meeting to order right at 6 o'clock. We will have the invocation by Pastor Brenton Stanley of Atmosphere Church, and then I'm going to ask Jet from the TVHS Cyber Team to come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'll start with the invocation. We're going to do the invocation first, so we'll do the pledge second. 1 second, Jet.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me out. My name is Pastor Brenton with Atmosphere Church here in Temecula, and thankful to be here. Just wanted to share two scripture verses, if I may. In Jeremiah 29:7, it says, "Seek the peace and the prosperity of the city, because if the city prospers, you too will prosper." Well, that's a good deal, I think. So I'm praying for the city of Temecula. And if Temecula prospers, I know I will prosper. And just wanted to take a moment and pray. So let's pray. Lord Jesus, I ask God, as it says in your word here, for the peace and the prosperity of the city. God, I ask that Temecula be a city that stands out. I ask that it be a light source, God, a lighthouse to the surrounding areas. God, I ask that businesses flourish. I ask God for a strong sense of community and a strong sense of peace and harmony in Temecula. God, we ask for protection. We ask for protection in schools, protection in homes, God. We ask for protection on the job, God, and for our teachers and for our educators, God, to lead and guide the next generation behind us. God, I pray for a refreshing in the city of Temecula, God, where maybe there's some tension, maybe there's just tiredness of hardworking citizens, God, that you come and you refresh this city, God. And I thank you for a city that honors you, that puts you first, God. And Lord Jesus, we just ask that you continue to bring peace, blessing, favor, and prosperity on the city of Temecula. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. Thank you.
Okay, Jet.
Sorry for the crazy hair. Please stay standing and remove your hats for the pledge. Oh, please begin.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You may be seated. Madam City Clerk, may we have the roll call, please?
Yes, Councilmember Alexander.
Here.
Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Kalfas.
Here.
Mayor Schwank.
And I'm here.
Mayor Pro Tem Stewart.
Here.
Okay, we're going to get right to work. We have several presentations, so I'm going to make my way down to the podium. And for the first one, the presentation of proclamation for Bike Month, I'd like to ask the owners of Pedigo to come on up to the podium. Yep. All right, well, thank you for being here with us this evening.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. You know, I remember it wasn't that long ago that they'd hand this proclamation to me because there wasn't anyone else to give it to. And now look at this space. It's full. So very cool. So this is our proclamation for National Bike Month. So it says, whereas National Bike Month is celebrated every year in the month of May to showcase the many benefits of bicycling, and whereas a bicycle is an economical, healthy, convenient, and environmentally sound form of transportation and an excellent tool for recreation and enjoyment of Temecula's scenic beauty, and whereas throughout the month of May, the residents of Temecula and its visitors will experience the joys of bicycling through organized rides, bike trains, commuting events, or simply by getting out and going for a ride on their own. Whereas creating a bicycle-friendly community has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, growing the economy of Temecula, attracting tourism dollars, improving traffic safety, and reducing pollution and congestion. Whereas Hike Bike Temecula Valley, Old Town Bicycle Company, Pedigo Electric Bikes, The Bike Shop, Inland Empire Biking Alliance, Inland Valley Mountain Bike Association, League of American Bicyclists, and other local organizations and businesses will be promoting bicycling during the month of May 2023. And whereas these groups are also promoting bicycle tourism year-round to attract more visitors to enjoy our local restaurants, hotels, retail establishments, and cultural and scenic attractions. And whereas these groups are also promoting greater public awareness of bicycle operation and safety education in an effort to reduce collisions, injuries, and fatalities, and improve health and safety for everyone on the road. Now therefore, I, Mayor Zach Schwenk, on behalf of the City Council of the City of Temecula, hereby proclaim the month of May 2023 to be National Bike Month, and I urge all residents to join in this special observance. There you go.
Thank you. Thank you
Congratulations.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so the mic is yours, and
Thank you.
we appreciate you.
I wrote some things down because I'm horrible at public speaking. Thank you very much for this honor. Mallory and I are so excited to receive this invitation. We're thrilled to be a part of this community. Our business is thriving, and we've actually lost count of the smiling faces we have that have become Pedigo family members. One of our favorite parts of owning an electric bike store is when our customers are out enjoying a ride and stop in just to say hi and hang out for a while. We look forward to the growth of the cycling community, whether it be along with analog Amish bikes or with the state-of-the-art Pedigo electric bikes. It says here, pause for laughter. Anyway, thank you again for this honor, but we would not feel right if we didn't give a little back. We would like to present 2 Pedigo patrol bikes that we are loaning to our Old Town Sheriff Department, and maybe they can use them to patrol Old Town streets or patrol our fantastic bike path that opened in November. We are hoping to make your very difficult job a little bit easier and maybe a little more fun. We can't thank you enough.
Wow.
I was never a very good Vanna White either.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wow. That's wonderful. Okay, so you just need to write them out of here. Thank you very much.
This is my ticket to leave the meeting. See you guys later.
Tucker, that's wonderful. Thank you so much. That is just amazing. And we're looking forward to a Bike to Work Day, and so we'll be checking in with you on Bike to Work Day, which is what, next Thursday? So, yeah. Yeah, so Tucker, don't leave. We're going to make sure we get some photos.
Should we turn the lights off? I don't know if that's going to be.
Very cool.
Balance it aside a little bit. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, thank you. And before we call up the next presentation, I would be totally remiss if I didn't recognize Matt Peters. Where did Matt? Matt's in the back. So Matt Peters has been instrumental. Matt is a yeah. Without Matt's hard work at the city for the last, 15 or so years, we wouldn't be anywhere near where we are. So thank you, Matt. Appreciate it. Okay, the next presentation is a presentation of proclamation for Water Safety Month. Would like to now invite Melissa Davis. Are you coming up for this one? The whole aquatics team? Okay, so let's have the entire aquatics team come up. The entire aquatics team.
The lead team. These are our leaders.
Okay. Well, welcome. Thank you for being here tonight. So this is a City of Temecula proclamation for National Water Safety Month. And if y'all want to come up, we can kind of slide in a little bit. I'll scooch over. Okay, it says, whereas National Water Safety Month is celebrated as an opportunity to increase awareness of the importance of communicating water safety rules and programs to families and individuals of all ages, whether owners of private pools, users of public swimming facilities, or visitors to water parks. And whereas the citizens of Temecula recognize the vital role that swimming and aquatic-related activities relate to good physical and mental health and enhance the quality of life for all people. And whereas water safety education plays an essential role in preventing drowning and recreational water-related injuries. Whereas the recreational water industry, as represented by the organizations involved in the National Water Safety Month Coalition, is committed to developing safe swimming facilities, aquatic programs, home pools, and spas, and providing healthy places to recreate, learn, and grow that contribute to the quality of life in our community. And whereas the City of Temecula recognizes the pool, spa, water park, recreation, and park industries for their ongoing efforts and initiatives to educate the public on pool and spa safety issues. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Zach Schwenk, on behalf of the City Council of the City of Temecula, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2023 to be National Water Safety Month, and encourage all members of the community to learn more about water safety to support and promote this observance. Thank you. And we'll certainly give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about what you do in our community.
Good evening, City of Temecula Council and all those joining. My name is Mallory Benedict, and I'm a lead guard through the City of Temecula Aquatics. I'm here with my team to accept the proclamation of water safety for the month of May. As a lifeguard to the City of Temecula, I can speak firsthand to the importance of safety standards that are being held through the Aquatics Department. We spend countless hours making sure we are ready to protect our community and ensure that others are aware of such safety protocols. Water safety is so important, especially living in Southern California, where we are very grateful to be able to swim year-round. Our team is kicking off the busy summer season on May 27th from 12 to 2 p.m. at the CRC with a safer summer pool party, where families can learn about various aspects of water safety, learn about the basics of CPR, and practice water skills. Knowledge is power, and within this event, along with the proclamation of May as Water Safety Month in Temecula, it's a great way to inform the community and bring awareness. Stay safe out there, and we can't wait to see you at our pools this summer. Thank you so much for this proclamation, and we are happy to answer any questions you may have.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. I think we want to try to get a photograph from Shauna so we can all sort of pull in. All right, thank you all for keeping our community safe, prepared. Thank you. Okay, the next presentation will be for Temecula Valley High School's Crypto Scammers team. So, welcome. Sounds very nefarious, these crypto scammers. Oh, please, come on up. So I'll go ahead and read these certificates, and I'll go ahead and hand them out, and then we'll give you an opportunity to tell us a little bit about what Temecula Valley High School's Crypto Scammers team does. Okay, so this is the certificate for winners of the 2023 Inland Empire Desert Regional California Mayor's Cyber Cup. The City of Temecula congratulates Temecula Valley High School's cyber team Crypto Scammers for placing first in the high school division. The team scored 1,400 out of 2,160 points in the 5th Annual Inland Empire Desert Regional California Mayor's Cyber Cup competition. The California Mayor's Cyber Cup event focuses on regional importance of cybersecurity education and community engagement by providing a platform that allows for all students to engage and grow their skills. 70 teams consisting of 450 students from participating middle, high schools, and community colleges competed for the 2023 Inland Empire Desert Regional California Mayor's Cyber Cup. Students worked together in teams to solve various challenges related to cybersecurity and information technology. Once again, the City of Temecula congratulates the team and wishes them continued success. Congratulations. So my first certificate of achievement is for Lucas Thatcher. Congratulations. All right, CJ Dunn. CJ? All right, Thomas Sample. Thank you. All right, Kevin Bui. Did I get that right, Kevin? Okay. All right, Terrence Ko Tafoya. Yes, Terrence. Congratulations. Okay. Thank you. And Coach Cole Randall. So I'm doing the math, and there's one missing. Okay, so I'm okay. Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, could you tell us a little bit about the Cyber Cup and everything?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Sure.
great.
Whichever mic that means. Thank you. Thank you for having me. The Mayor's Cyber Cup, as Mayor Swank talked about, has been going on throughout California for the last 5 years. We competed this past month with schools from Northern California, Central Valley, and of course, Southern California, the Inland Empire. My name is Donna Woods. I serve as the Advanced Cybersecurity Educator and Dual Enrollment Educator for Marina Valley Unified School District at Canyon Springs High School and also for Marina Valley College. We are the host district that hosts the Mayor's Cup, so I am truly excited to be back here in the beautiful city of Temecula Valley. You get to keep the Mayor's Cup, but it was very competitive between Temecula Valley High School and Great Oak and all the other schools as the scores were changing very rapidly, throughout the 3 hours. The Mayor's Cup competition would not be possible without the incredible support of Avi Nair, who is the regional director for the Inland Empire Desert Regional Consortium. To put this competition on, the competition platform is done, it cost about $35,000. The students, all the students competing receive digital certification badges that they can post on their social media, their LinkedIn profiles, show employers and colleges. They also receive challenge medals that you may notice that have been part of the history in our military to receive a beautiful challenge medal. And of course, this beautiful Mayor's Cup trophy that we are glad and proud to present to their team captain, Thomas. This will stay at City Hall of Temecula for a year, and it was won by another high school here in Temecula last year. So the perpetual trophy will stay here yet once again. So we are very proud. It was wonderful to drive out here in the traffic because I know this is an exciting moment, but I want to present it to their entire team. Congratulations to their coach. This takes years worth of dedication. And they have to do cryptography, digital forensics, malware, investigations, background of firewalls, just any kind of defensible strategies, as well as when they're in the competitions, it's changing very quickly. So to your team captain, Thomas, I present you with the Mayor's Cup so you can present it to the city of Temecula. Congratulations again.
So we get to keep it here, right? Yes. Okay. Shall we take some photographs? You want to swing on over? Can they all open their... open up your certificates, if you can. right, congratulations. And you won't be able to see it, but the challenge coins are in the cup. So maybe before you leave, you want to take a peek in there and see. They're beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr.
There they go. Okay, we do have one more presentation this evening. So right now I'd like to invite Alex Brikovic up from CR&R for a presentation regarding the delivery of solid waste and recycling services. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council, City staff. It's a pleasure to be here before you tonight. Hard to follow all that, but we're going to talk a little bit of trash now. Let's see if I can work this. Okay. So Aaron asked us to put a presentation together, kind of give council an update as to where we're at with some of the more important issues facing the industry and the city of Temecula. What we're going to talk about this evening is SB 1383, Senate Bill 1383, the implementation update. I've been before you a couple of times. This is a bill that was passed back in 2016 that affected every city and county in the state of California. I'm going to give a very, very quick review of the state requirements, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Temecula's compliance with SB 1383, both on the residential and commercial side. And then we're also going to discuss a little bit on the solid waste services side, the review and the scope and some of the challenges. So, very quick review of SB 1383. It was signed into law by Governor Brown back in 2016. The key state goal of this bill is to remove organic materials from the landfill. Organic materials naturally decay in the landfill. They produce methane, which is 80 times more harmful than CO2s. And organics is basically green waste, food waste, yard waste, and food waste. SB 1383 requires the state of California to annually reduce organic waste disposal by about 20 million tons by 2025. And it requires a lot of new reporting, monitoring, services, and other local compliance requirements. SB 1383 regulations went into effect in January of 22. The good news is that Temecula is in full compliance with 1383, which is something not many cities can say in the state of California. So what are some of the jurisdictional requirements of 1383? Every resident and business has to separate their organic waste from their recyclables and from their regular trash. So it requires one container for organic waste, one container for recyclables, and one container for trash. It also requires that there is some sort of processing capability, preferably local processing capability. It has an extensive outreach and education requirement in it, where we also take a look at the generators, the facilities, edible food recovery organizations, cities, counties, and the haulers as well. Establishes a food recovery program, which we'll get into a little bit more, and it requires a procurement. City is required to procure back a certain amount of organics, and the cities are required to implement extensive new record-keeping requirements as well. On the educational side, on an annual basis, we have to make sure that residents and businesses receive some sort of information or education on 1383. That's being done currently. On the procurement side, this is probably the most challenging part of 1383. This requires that each city or county purchase back a certain amount of organic waste that is generated within the city. Here in Temecula, that's 5,260 tons per year, which is quite daunting. Now, there was a bill passed in the state legislature last year called AB 1985, and that bill allows cities to phase in this requirement. So in 2023, cities will only be on the hook for 33% of that 56 or 5260. Because the city brings all of the organic waste to our anaerobic digester in Paris, and we convert that into renewable natural gas and compost material, the renewable natural gas we generate for the city of Temecula will cover the city of Temecula in 2023 on the 33%, which is huge, because if you were just to take that material to a composting facility, you don't recover any of the fuel, and you wouldn't have any credit, if you will, of that material. So we're looking good for this year. Also, compost, renewable natural gas, electricity. So there's a possibility that the material could be used not only for composting resources, but also for renewable natural gas, which is what we do. And the city is also required to procure recycled content paper and other products as part of this regulation. There's also a compliance review and contamination monitoring component, and this part of the regulations gets sometimes a little dicey, because it requires us to go out and audit or inspect each customer's containers. And we weren't big fans of this part of the regulation, but it's a requirement that we do it. So we've hired a team of folks that goes out and takes a look at what's inside the containers to make sure that there's no cross-contamination of material, that there's no organics in the trash, recyclables in the organics, and so on. So the contamination monitoring for 1383 is quite extensive. We started that last year, actually. We developed an app for it as well. And again, Temecula is in full compliance with that part of the regulations. So what did we do to make sure that Temecula was in compliance? We added the food waste to the yard waste a few years ago, labels on all the containers, assisted the city with outreach materials, ensuring businesses and commercial edible food generators are compliant, and perform contamination monitoring on an annual basis. I do want to say that we work with Pat and Julie and Rodney, staff here at the city have been just tremendous to work with. I think if it wasn't for their assistance, we would not have been in a position that we are today with regards to compliance for the city of Temecula. So thank you very much, Pat, and your team. On the infrastructure side, back in 2016, well, it's more like 2017, I think, we opened our anaerobic digester in the city of Paris. And that gives us the infrastructure locally to take all of this organic material. It also allows people to mix their food waste with their green waste, which before that, there was nowhere here locally that you could do that. And we can also guarantee the city of Temecula capacity for organic waste processing, which is another component of 1383 that the city must prove to the state every year that they have the capacity to process the organics. And as I mentioned earlier, the procurement part of it has been addressed as well. So the numbers, this is what we call our report card. And Barbara Jimenez, who's sitting right there, she's our compliance manager. And she and her team have done an extraordinary job in getting this done. But the goal here is that bottom yellow line where it says % not recycling. We want that to be as close to 0 or 0 as possible. And my ugly picture is covering the far column on the right there. But there we go. You can see that Temecula is at 0.35% not recycling on the business recycling side. On the multifamily, we've got everybody signed up. These are the numbers that Cal Recycle wants to see. These are the numbers that keeps Cal Recycle away. We don't want them coming in and auditing or doing any crazy thing like that. So The numbers in the city of Temecula look really, really good, and we're very proud of the work. As you can see, there were over 1,100 businesses that had to be addressed in terms of recycling. And so back in 2018, that 29% was more like 50%. So we've done a pretty good job of getting it down to where it needs to be. On the organic side, you can see that back in 2022, businesses not recycling was close to 36%. Today, we're down to almost zero, which is where we want it to be. On the multifamily side, same thing, 82% back in 2022, and we're down to zero. And this took a lot of hard work, knocking on doors, talking to people, explaining what the law is all about. And sometimes it wasn't an easy conversation to have, quite frankly, but it's one that we had to have in order to keep the city of Temecula in compliance with this new law. So we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that the industry is facing today. There's a nationwide issue with regards to the industry, the solid waste industry. And it stems from basically a hangover of COVID. Some of that being driver shortages, some of that being equipment shortages. As we said, the pandemic hangover, it's affected some of our customers, and they've experienced a periodic delay in service, and it's something that we're not proud of, obviously. We don't want to happen, but unfortunately, it's something that we're dealing with. Some of the issues that we're faced with is turnover. We have a significant turnover in our driver ranks, mechanics, CSRs, and we felt that great resignation that everybody else had just a few months ago. And I will sit here and say that the labor force has changed. Quite frankly, it's changed. If any of you have employees, you know what I mean. Different work ethics, different value systems, much more difficult to find qualified personnel, especially we have to hire drivers with commercial driver's licenses. We will not hire anybody that's got a bad driving record. We can't. There's no way we will do that. And so we have a pretty high standard, and that, I'll be honest, it plays into who we allow to get behind the wheel of our vehicles for obvious reasons. We continue to aggressively recruit. Unfortunately, we're faced with the issue of, we bring somebody on board. We just had 2 or 3 of them this week. We go through the training process. We go through everything. That's a 6 to 8 week process. And they're behind the wheel for a week or 2, and it's just not for them. And so now we've just wasted 2 months trying to get somebody on board. So it's been a very challenging situation with regards to labor. We have started using some contract labor in certain areas, and that's helped a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit better results with regards to what we were faced with last year, and compared to this year is a little bit better, no doubt about it, but it's still a struggle. So labor is an issue. Supply chain, I think I sat here last year and I think I said that, we had close to 80 trucks on order. We still have not received that full order of trucks. They still have not come in completely. We're about 55% of the trucks that we ordered in 2020 or 2021 have come in. That kills us because we can't renew our fleet. The fleet gets older. You saw that we had to add 13 or 1,100 new customers for organics. So all that plays on us, and it adds and it compounds to the issues. Parts have getting better, but still availability is an issue. And so all these things lead to some shortages. And unfortunately, it affects the customer, which is the last thing we want to do. But we are doing everything we can to mitigate. We've even rented some trucks. We've outsourced to new vendors for some truck repairs. So it's an ongoing issue that we face every single day. So the quality and quantity of personnel is improving, not to the point where we feel comfortable yet, and it's still a struggle every day. As I said, outside resources are being brought in, and we are getting some trucks coming in. It's ironic. We got 3 new trucks about 3 months ago at about $400,000 a pop, and they lasted about a week, and ended up that there is some sort of defect in the Peterbilt truck. So it's been sitting over at the dealership, waiting to get repaired. So those kind of things just kill us when you have that kind of issue faced on top of everything else. So I just wanted to bring you a snapshot of the number of calls we get into our call center. On residential, we're averaging on a customer base of about 29,000 customers, about 0.44% calls coming in. On the commercial side, we're at about 2%. We're okay with the 0.44. We're not okay with the 2%. We'd like to get that under 1.5%. But we track these on a weekly basis. If we see the amount of phone calls coming in to our call center creep up, then that sounds all kinds of alarm bells for us. So we're trying everything we can to make sure we mitigate these issues on a daily basis. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you very much, Alex. Any questions for Mr. Berkovic?
I just have some comments.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, one, thank you for picking up the telephone. Over the last 45 days, I've probably received myself, either by phone or by email, from the city manager's office, individual complaints, and you've addressed all those. Glad to hear that you're addressing the staffing shortages. I myself, a little less than a year ago, worked through the commercial driver's license, all the training requirements for those now. I didn't realize that your business was also subject to those, because I think now it's like a 6-day, $3,000 training requirement to get a commercial B license as well. Glad to hear about you renting trucks. And then mostly just thank you for being responsive. But, most recently, I think one of the complaints was like the inconsistency of the bins being picked up. And so I don't know if that's something you can address or talk about.
Yeah, I mean, we have an internal system where we track every phone call that comes in. And we have a code that we put on there if it's a repeat customer. And if it's a repeat customer, that gets alerted to our route manager, and our route manager puts it on what he calls his hot list. And so we track those repeat calls to address them, on a constant, ongoing basis. I know one that you mentioned to me that, we have to work with that particular individual, but there is a system in place to try and mitigate the repeats. That's what we're trying to stop, is the repeats. If there's an issue with the driver, or if there's an issue with access to the container, whatever the case may be, we want to try and address that and take care of it as quickly as possible.
Again, thank you for being responsive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? All right, Alex, I appreciate you taking the time to come in and again, being open and honest and telling us what's going on.
And I will do everything I can to keep you all posted. And I know Pat and I talked about doing this on a regular basis to let you know where we're at. And we obviously appreciate your patience and understanding through this.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Alex. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks again.
Okay, we'll move on to board and commission reports. We'll go ahead and start with Community Services Commission with Chair Sizemore.
Thank you, Mayor Schwenk, Mayor Pro Tem Stewart, City Council members, city staff, and most importantly, Temecula residents. My name is Kathy Sizemore. I am the chairperson for our Temecula Community Services Commission. We are a commission of 5 commissioners. Commissioners Ernest Castro, Yuan Hawks, Jeff Kingsburg, Vice Chair Gariotti, and myself. The purpose of our commission is to review and make recommendations on topics related to the Parks and Rec element of the general plan, and we work to provide parks and recreation services and programs for our community. Our last meeting was last night here in council chambers. Next slide, please. And at our meeting, we approved our action minutes for our April 10th, 2023 meeting. We also received a presentation on the draft capital improvement program, the CIP, the projects for our fiscal years 2024 through 2028. And our commission was quite impressed with the quantity of projects that contribute to the high quality of life that our residents have here in our city. There were park remodels, trail expansions, and traffic mitigation efforts to improve safety for our cyclists and pedestrians in the community. We're looking forward to seeing that plan go in front of council, and we look forward to seeing it improved in these new projects. Our next meeting will be on June 12th, 2023. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We'll now move on over to our Planning Commission. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay. So these are our planning commissioners. Also, there's 5 of us. I am the chair. Vice chair is Bob Hagel, Adam Ruiz, and newest commissioner, Fernando Solis, and Gary Watts. And great group of people. So we work well together. Really excited about this planning commission. So the planning commission's job is to serve as a designated statutory planning agency for the city of Temecula. We review, make recommendations on topics related to subdivisions, specific plans, zone changes, plot plans, and we conduct legally required public hearings. So it's really actually very exciting. It doesn't sound exciting, but it is. So our last meeting was May 3rd. Next slide. And we actually approved a conditional use permit for a type 20 ABC license, which is for beer and wine. And this is at a previously approved gasoline service station on Sanborn Avenue, which is in our uptown. So it's over, how do I explain where it is? Luke, help me out.
It's directly across to the east, Jefferson Avenue, from the detention basin at the northern end of the city, right before Cherry Street.
So that's all going to be up and coming. And I think what made me happiest about it, because I always look at these liquor licenses very in depth, and the owner of this particular service station also has one other one in Temecula, Luke, I think.
No, I believe they're in Orange County.
Okay, I thought he said he had one in Temecula also. Anyway, I was impressed with him, and he has his sons working with him, and he promised that it would be orderly and safe. So we're going to hold him to that. So we approved that 4-0. And that's all we had that night. But I also wanted to say just really quickly, as a citizen here in Temecula, I was able to attend the Rod Run on Friday night. And just really grateful for Dawn and her team and all they do. Such a great family-friendly event for car enthusiasts, which I am not, but it was fun. And it was just fun to see, you know, we got there before it started, and just to see how many people just showed up. It was kind of crazy. And then the other thing I wanted to say is today I had the opportunity to be at the Kent Hinnegard Memorial. And I was here when that happened. I remember that very clearly. And I just love that our city takes the time to do that and honor one of our own who, you know, gave the ultimate sacrifice. So I really appreciate, like Kevin said, on both ends of the spectrum, you know, we're doing the Rod Run one weekend and we're doing a memorial the next day. But that's why we love the city. That's why we live here. And so I'm grateful for all that the city does to make those things happen. Thank you.
All right, wonderful, thank you. We'll now move on over to Public Traffic Safety Commission. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Schwenk and council members, staff, and neighbors. It's good to be with you all. Tonight, I am filling in for Chairman Carter, who is up in Sacramento this evening, paying his respects at the California Highway Patrol Memorial Ceremony. Now, in addition to the chairman and myself, our team includes Commissioners Eric Ackerman, J.R. Richardson and Brad Sullivan. And we meet on the fourth Thursday of every month to discuss topics related to safety, primarily traffic safety, education, engineering, and enforcement. Now, at our last meeting, we had 2 business items to receive and file. The first was a review of the 5-year capital improvement program, largest ever in our city's history, with over 100 projects worth over $800 million. In addition to parks and facilities and housing items, the CIP represents a massive reinvestment in infrastructure and circulation. Projects include freeway connections, creek crossings, local roadway improvements, new trails, sidewalks, and pedestrian crossings. And something that is especially noteworthy is that over 70% of the funding comes from state and federal grants, which leads into our second topic that we discuss on the next slide, the Highway Safety Improvement Program. So as you know, every 2 years, cities are invited to submit project designs, which are scored according to the traffic safety benefits that they provide. In a typical cycle, there are roughly twice as many applicants as there are winning projects, and so the odds are not great. This year, however, Temecula didn't just beat those odds. In fact, our Public Works Department absolutely crushed it. All 4 of the projects that we submitted were chosen to receive funding, and so we've been able to add over $4 million in new traffic safety projects to this year's CIP. As a result of this, we think we're going to be able to hit a lot of the targets in our local road safety plan much sooner than we had anticipated. We'll be making upgrades to our traffic signal hardware, pedestrian signals, ramps, and crosswalks. And in the spirit of Bike Month, I'm happy to report that we've secured $250,000 for bicycle safety improvements under the HSIP Bicycle Safety Set-Aside program to be completed by summer 2024. These improvements will be spread all across the city, so all of our neighbors are going to benefit from this, most especially our student population, many of whom walk, bike, and skate to school. And you'll be seeing all these projects again soon at the upcoming City Council Budget Workshop. And as for the Commission, our next meeting will be on Thursday, May 25th, right here in City Hall. That concludes my report, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All right, wonderful. Any questions for any of the commissioners? Okay, thank you all. Okay, we'll move on to our public safety report this evening. Chief Durham, welcome.
Mr. Mayor, City Council, City Staff, thank you. As you can see on my slide, in the month of April, your deputies responded to 6,258 calls for service. That breaks down to an average of 208 calls a day. There's really no significant increase in a comparison from last year's data at this point. I did want to take a chance in my safety statement today to thank the city and the city staff for the Deputy Hindergart's memorial. The family was in tears. The loss, even though it's been 30 years, is still very real to them, and they are still very surprised that the city gives back 30 years later. And so when we extended that invitation, they were shocked. So I appreciate all the support, the planning, community services. Thank you, Dawn and your team, and everyone's support to make that happen. It was a good event. And that ends my report, and if there's any questions, I'll take them now.
Okay, any questions or comments? Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, we'll now move to our public comment portion of our agenda for non-agenda items. Madam City Clerk, do we have public comments this evening?
We do, Mr. Mayor. We have 2 public comments. One is a non-agenda public item, public comment, and one is on consent calendar number 8. The rules are provided for on the agenda. Each speaker has 3 minutes. The speaker on the non-agenda item is Mick Sobzak.
Okay. All right, welcome.
All right, 2 weeks ago I was in here and submitted a California Public Request Act for the incident dealing with Chauncey Killens as well as Jen Reeves of Temecula Unity. On day 10, which is your requirement to have my response, I received a letter saying that you objected to providing me any of the information due to an investigation. So in talking with Chauncey Killens, his incident happened almost 10 weeks ago, and there's still no investigation that's gone on. And I don't know if the Temecula PD can respond to that. As for Jen Reeves, I do not know. But you objected to giving me information. I read the code that you used, and all of your conversations are hearsay. And the only time hearsay can be used, and if I'm going back to my college courses, is a specific utterance, which you weren't a witness, so that doesn't apply, or a declaration of death. You didn't die, that didn't apply. You were not party to the incident. You are not the victim, you are not the perpetrator, and you are not a witness. So any conversations that you had are strictly opinion and do not apply to any investigation by the city of Temecula, city police. So I'm asking that my California Public Request Act be fulfilled and all that information be given to me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Was that it for non-agenda items?
Yes,
Okay.
that is on non-agenda, and then we have one speaker, Pam Nelson, on agenda item number 8 under consent. Welcome, Pam.
Okay.
Thank you. Good to see you. It's been a long time since I've been here.
Welcome.
I saw item 8 and then the article about that in the paper today, so I rushed down here wanting to give an update about the environmental groups that have been working along since our settlement and getting that wildlife corridor secured on the south end of the Altair project. So we formed a large coalition of nonprofits, government agencies, and the such, and it's called the Santa Ana to Palomar Coalition. So we've been really working hard to make that success with the parcel, a 55-acre parcel on the south end, really be functional. And so we've achieved several things. Caltrans installed the wildlife fencing along I-15. They're part of this coalition. They've begun to plan another I-15 crossing more south. Hopefully it could be a beautiful bridge that we could have for wildlife and put Temecula really on the map. It's getting there right now. But and then the Nature Conservancy, some of our partners have planned lots of enhancements, I would say, to Temecula Creek Underpass. They've succeeded with 2 grants, and they'll be putting in things like noise buffers or baffles and things to help the wildlife be able to cross at the Temecula Creek. Let's see, what else do I have here? And we've been working, this is apart from the coalition, we've been working with the staff at Brookfield to secure and protect the 55 acres as had been planned all along, just to be sure it's secure from, trespass and abuse. So we'll continue to work with them to find good stewards for the parcel too, because we haven't come along with that either. And last, we're really grateful for the city's support by including the wildlife corridor in the quality of life master plan too. We were happy to see that. So thank you very much for that. So if you ever have any questions about what we're doing and trying to, progress this kind of wildlife corridor issue, just ask me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much. Are there any more public comments?
There are none.
Okay, thanks so much. Okay, we'll go ahead and move to city council reports. Any of my council colleagues have anything to report? Mayor Pro Tem Stewart.
Okay, so the Rod Run, it was spectacular. So the Friday night cruise night, that was my vehicle I was sporting, and it was the first time I could use my lights and sirens. So I thrilled the crowds, thrilled me more, but. And then, and actually, when it first started, it started at 5 o'clock, and it was kind of sparse. And I was thinking, wow, not many people came out for the cruise night. And then by 6:30, it was just wall-to-wall people and wall-to-wall cars. Here's kind of like a sped-up version of it, but it was a really, really, like Lainey was saying, it was a really good family event. It was just a lot of fun, and people kept commenting on, how it's just it was just a special event. You know, it was such a small towny thing to do, and it was a blast. I wasn't at the Saturday event, but I heard it was completely full to overflowing also. But as you can see, it was. I'm enjoying the video too. So, so yeah. So, anyways, the Rod Run was a huge success and continues to be every year. So.
All right, Councilmember Brown.
Yeah, so early April, I was contacted by the Temecula HOA board regarding some concerns that they had within the HOA regarding break-ins, trespassing, some safety concerns, and some homeless issues that they had. So on April 26th, the city manager's office, led by Betsy Lowry, got some city staff together with myself, and we conducted a town hall there. And there, not only me, but the police chief, the homeless outreach team, code enforcement, Betsy was there. We were able to provide that HOA not only updated information regarding reporting some of the concerns they had, but also who truly to contact. And we also provided them probably 10 to 15 residents within the HOA there, but we left a handful of handouts for them to deliver to the residents if they needed them. All in all, it was a really good town hall, lasted about an hour, and very positive, and they were appreciative of the city staff and the chief of police being out there to provide those resources. And so I know the city manager's office was gonna be able to provide an update to me from them on how that outreach went once they conducted more outreach to the residents. So it was great. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll just, before I put on my slide, I will concur that the Rod Run was phenomenal, and really just a big thank you to the entire city for everything they do. It is a special event, but it is certainly all hands on deck for that event, and everyone did a wonderful job making that safe from a public safety perspective. It was family friendly. It was super enjoyable. So just a big thank you from myself and my family for that event, to the entire city staff. I did a couple events. So the first one, I was invited to go speak at a second grade class, which was really fun. They had some really good questions. And I probably ended up talking about, 30 minutes longer than I should have, but I didn't want to leave. Like, these kids kept asking these really cool questions, and we're talking about, the day-to-day of the job that we do. They're very interested. They talk parks and rec and, some of the classes that they do, parades. They talk potholes and, the public safety. These things are all important to these kids. So I just thought it was a cool opportunity. In the past, I've gone to, like middle schools and high schools and spoke, but I've never really done something like this at this level. I was thoroughly impressed with these students. Just wonderful families we have here in the city, and these kids exemplify that. So that was a fun event. And then I attended the expo, the Community Services Expo, which we brought back after a few years. We hadn't done it in a while, and it was something as a family, as a parent, like, we always enjoy this because you could see all the instructors, you could check out the classes. Back then you could actually like register for the classes. We've kind of moved into the internet age now, but it was really cool. And then one thing we started this year was this Meet the Mayor table, which kind of much like, past mayors have maybe done a coffee event or something like this. I wanted to insert the mayor into like some of the events we do and get feedback from that. So, I heard from a wide variety of people of all the reasons why they love Temecula. After all, they're there signing up or checking out things that we do. So they're extremely happy and proud of the community that we have. So it was a really fun event from that perspective. And I actually got to meet the family of San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria. His family lives up here in Temecula, so that was super cool. So hi, Todd. It was just really good to hear from people directly all the good work that we know is happening, but to hear from them why they love Temecula, why they stayed in Temecula, why they moved to Temecula. So look for Meet the Mayor at future city events that we're doing over the summer. And that is all. So thank you very much, everyone. We'll go ahead and move to the consent calendar today. Item number 1 is waive reading of title and text of all ordinances and resolutions included in the agenda. Item 2, approve action minutes of April 25th, 2023. Item 3, approve list of demands. Item 4, approve city treasurer's report as of November 30th, 2022 and December 31st, 2022. Approve second amendment to the agreement with Inland Empire Property Services for weed abatement services. 6, approve the approved form of public improvement construction agreements and authorize the city manager to execute said agreements on behalf of the city. 7 is approve recycling water agreement with Rancho California Water District for recycled water service for the Inez Road and Date Street landscape medians. Item 8, approve right of entry agreement with Brookfield SoCal Land Constructors LLC to conduct physical and biological surveys on city-owned properties in connection with the Altair development. And item 9, award construction contract to Astor Construction Services for the Mary Phillips Senior Center Outdoor Recreation Area PW 22-08. Item 10, adopt resolution finding that emergency repairs authorized by resolution 2023-17 pursuant to public contract code sections 20168 and 22050 have been completed and there is no longer a need for emergency authorization. And then item 11 is set public hearing to approve solid waste and recycling rates for commercial customers for fiscal year 2023-2024.
Move approval.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Let us vote, and I will let you know that oh, there we go. It came back up, sorry. I'm able to vote. Okay, and that passes 5-0. And now recess city council meeting to the scheduled community services district meeting.
So I'll call to order the Temecula Community Services District meeting. Madam Secretary, please note we're all here. Are there any public comments? None. Then we will go on to consent calendar, which is item number 12. Approve action minutes of April 25th, 2023.
Move approval.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. Please vote. And that passes 5-0. So we'll go on to the Director of Community Services report, which is being filled in by our Dawn-tastic event coordinator, who you did do an amazing job again. So thank you again for another great road run. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, good news, we have more events coming up.
Right?
Culture Fest is just around the corner. It will be on Saturday, May 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Civic Center here and also at Sam Hicks Monument Park. This free event will include live music, dancing, special performances, and fun activities for the entire family. You can experience different cultures through a variety of booths, exhibiting foods, crafts, and education. For more information and to view the entertainment lineup, visit temeculaca.gov/culturefest. That concludes my report.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Are there general matters report?
Mr. President, just one other thing I wanted to echo. Congratulations, appreciation towards TCSD, as well as every single operating department sitting up here, including our police and fire friends, to make not only an amazing event, but a safe event. And it really was a special weekend. So proud of you all. Thank you.
All right, any board of directors? None seen. I will adjourn this meeting until the next one.
Okay, and I'm going to reconvene the Temecula Public Financing Authority meeting. Called to order. Madam City Clerk, please note that we are all still here. Do we have any public comments? Okay, no public comments. We'll move on to our consent calendar. We have one item, 13, approve action minutes of April 25th, 2023. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Brown, second by Councilmember Alexander. Let us vote. Okay, and that passes 5-0. Executive Director report.
Nothing further tonight, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Board Directors, anything?
Nope.
All right, seeing none, we're going to adjourn the Temecula Public Financing Authority meeting. We're going to reconvene the Temecula City Council and items for future agenda. Anyone?
Nope.
All right. City Manager report.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, one thing I did want to bring to everyone's attention There was a article in the Press Enterprise this morning that basically shined a light on the recently conducted point-in-time count for Riverside County, which is a snapshot in time for measuring unsheltered individuals within every city within the county. And the county reported an uptick of 12% over the previous year, but that was still better than the 15% that it increased the year prior. But a little closer to home, Temecula's official count came in on that day at 35 individuals. Now, of course, we know that is a snapshot in time, and this, and it's just one day. But 35 individuals in a city of 108,000 is worthy of a pat on the back to all the individuals that are invested in this socially complicated issue that we call homelessness. And from Mike Wooten and his team to Chief Durham and to code enforcement, to everyone, all the disciplines, to SWAG, our nonprofit, and the street exits. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. And so I didn't want it to go unsaid. 35 unsheltered individuals. Of course, we're going to do our own census again in June because we have a pretty good handle on who's here and who wants help. And if you want help, we will get you help. But I thought the city council would appreciate understanding that number, and you know what we have wrapped up in this challenge statewide. So thank you.
Definitely appreciate that. Thank you. City Attorney report?
We had a closed session tonight, but we have no action items to report from the Brown Act.
Okay. With that, I will adjourn tonight's meeting at 7:07. We are adjourned.